going on, guys? Reisshub back with another video. This time I'm going to be talking about everything you need to know about the charged shotgun. I just wanted to say in the intro here, people could be asking, should I use the charge or should I use the tact shotgun? My answer, as always, is get good with both and use whatever you're better with. Jaren has already done a really good video which covers a lot of the basics on the charged shotgun, so I'm quickly going to list the most relevant points to the charged shotgun in here, but I highly recommend you go and watch that video because it's really good. So firstly, double tapping the trigger will allow you to shoot your shotgun much more like a pump. It will still have a bit of delay on it over the pump and the tac, but this allows you to do edits and shoot a lot quicker without having to wait for the thing to charge up. It also does plenty of damage without charging up, so it's definitely not necessary to charge up every shot. Whenever you ADS, if you're holding an angle for example, this is when you probably want to charge. Usually when you edit, you have to stop charging the shotgun to be able to edit. However, if you edit a door beforehand, you can charge your shotgun and still walk through the door and open it without having to stop your charge. This allows you to get a right hand peek on your opponents. Another interesting thing that Jaren added, which I think he got from Aussie Antics, was to slow down your aim when you're going for flick shots. Because you don't have any muscle memory built up for shooting on release, you're going to have to slow down your aim to ensure that you can track your opponents and get better shots on them this way. Another great tip on there is when someone has a charged shotgun and they're holding it charged, you should just edit your wall or floor, reset it so that when they shoot, they're going to break the floor. This then gives you a great opportunity to shoot them back, dealing damage to them without them being able to damage you back. Okay, so that's just a quick list of some of the things that Jaren talked about. So let's get into all of the things I want to add on top of that. There's currently a bug with the charged shotgun that we'll see if it'll be fixed or not. If you edit a window on the right side of the wall, you can actually shoot through the left-hand side of the wall, meaning you can give damage out to your opponents without them being able to give damage back to you at all, as they can't even see you from this angle. This is found by A1, the angriest guy in my trio, and is really useful. However, you do have to be at pretty specific angles to be able to do it. So just like most shotguns, the most important thing that you can do with the charged shotgun is shoot from a right-hand peek. Most people have really good muscle memory doing this from a peanut butter peek, but you need to be a little bit more creative on ways that you can do this. Low ground right now is actually really powerful because of the way you can hide behind walls when players are above you and just jump up and take shots this way. Because there's a delay after you edit before you can shoot the charged shotgun, baiting your opponents into a right-hand peek is going to be really valuable. One of my favorite ways to do this is to wall replace, and when you see the opponent running out towards you, move left to gain a further right-hand peek. Then, once they're outside of the box, take the shot and place a wall in front of you. I've already covered this and more ways to do this in my previous video with Thomas HD, so go and check that one out. While we're talking about placing builds after you shoot, this is crucial to have in your muscle memory when using the charged shotgun. This gun hits so hard and you do not want to be hit in return by that, so this is a good way to give damage off to your opponents and not take any back. This is particularly difficult because of the shoot on release mechanic on the charged shotgun. Normally, you'd shoot your shotgun and then all you do is press your wall button, for example, to place a wall in front of you. If you're on controller, all you would do is press the switch mode button and it would simply place a wall in front of you immediately after you've shot. However, with the charged shotgun, you're taking your finger off of the left click or the right trigger, for example, which means that you're going to have to place it down again to place the wall. This may sound very minor, but it's muscle memory that you have to practice. Don't just do this with walls, do this with every build piece to ensure that you're able to give damage without taking it in return. In this meta, it's really important to establish what shotgun your opponent has as soon as the fight starts. Most of the time you won't be able to see this visually, but just acknowledging what shotgun they have when they hear them take their first shot is really important. If they have a charged shotgun, they're much more likely to play their right hand peeks and play a little bit smarter almost. If they have a tac, people play a lot more stupid, so it's much easier to wait for them just to edit. A lot of players with the tactical shotgun will just open and edit and charge straight at you. So if you know your opponent has a tac, you can just line up next to their wall, charge up your shot, wait for them to edit out. If they don't edit out on you, fine, just make sure you continue to pressure them. However, always be wary that they could just open up and charge right at you. Coning and boxing up your opponents is something that's really important to do when you're fighting with the charged shotgun. This is obviously important in every fight is to have good piece control. However, when you're using the charged shotgun, often boxing your opponents or coning them confuses them for a little minute. If you've ever coned in someone's box after wall replacing, there's a brief moment where you can see them trying to hold a ramp or a build piece, and they're kind of just sitting there with their build menu out, not really able to do anything. The delay on the charged shotgun is annoying, however confusing your opponents in this manner gives you that little bit extra time to get a shot off on them with it. Ensure that in creative you know how to cone and you know how to box other players up, and this is a part of your muscle memory. Editing your build piece and then shooting immediately after is still possible with the charged shotgun. Obviously there is a little bit of a delay as I said earlier, and if you want to understand what the kind of delay is, it's essentially the pull-out difference between the pump and the tac but then added on again. So the pull-out time of the tac to the pump is basically the same as the pull-out time of the charge to the tac. So that means it's pretty slow. You can just edit and then double tap to fire immediately, but if the player inside is holding their charge, they're going to hit you for a lot more damage, or if they have attack, they're going to hit you before you're going to be able to hit them. So what's the best way to edit and then take a shot using the charged shotgun? The best way to do this is to ensure that when you confirm your edit, you are not visible to the other player. For example, if you were going to edit a wall open into someone else's box, you want to ensure that you are hidden behind the left hand of the wall so that you have the right hand peek on the opponent. This gives you a chance to shoot your shotgun and not take damage in return. Similarly, if you were going to do a peanut butter peek, you could do the peanut butter peek and ensure that you are still hidden behind the wall. Jump as you're charging and then shoot them. Yes, it is slower than using the pump in these kind of situations and it is more clunky, but it is still possible. The worst thing that you can do to lose momentum in a fight with the charged shotgun is to take a wall and then make a big open edit so that your opponent can just simply shoot you in the face. In my experience, the most frustrating part of the charged shotgun is the fact that it only has 3 bullets in the clip. Unless you use the mythic version, which has 5, this becomes a real problem as you run out of ammo really quickly. What I've been trying to do recently is anytime I take a shot, I just try to reload that 1 bullet so that it's always got 3 in the chamber. This isn't always possible, and if it's going to lose you momentum in the fight, don't do it, but you just really need to be aware at how little ammo the shotgun has in each clip. A great way to deal damage to opponents who are being overly aggressive to you is to shoot them as they break your builds. You can do this really with any shotgun, but it works really well with a charged shotgun because of its high damage output. Simply hold the charge as they're breaking the wall, and as soon as they break the wall with that last pickaxe swing, just let go and then quickly replace the wall and place a ramp as well. You place the ramp in your box because the chances are they may get the wall at this time, so you want to be able to put a layer between you and your opponent and get out. Charging your shotgun from inside the box may also make your opponent back off a little bit and not be as aggressive. They may sit with their shotgun out and just charge themselves, leading to a stalemate. This can actually give you some time to edit out and get height, or to even pop a mini and heal a bit. When you start to charge the charged shotgun, you actually slow down and start walking rather than running. This obviously makes you move slower in general, however the one way that this impacts most importantly is when you jump. For moves like the one I'm showing in the background, you should charge your shotgun after you jump, because there's a horizontal element while I'm moving. And if I started to charge before I jumped, I wouldn't make it as I wouldn't go far enough. If I just need to jump as high as I can without moving forward, such as a low ground peak, you can charge your shotgun way before, then jump, and then take the shot. Since there's a pullout delay with the charged shotgun, you need to try to mitigate this as much as possible. I've already said that you can double tap the trigger to fire as quickly as possible after confirming an edit. However, one thing that I think people should be practicing a lot more when they're in creative doing their free building is to actually practice to get back to the shotgun after doing whatever building combination or editing combination they're doing. Take this example in the background. I'm doing the unknown classic, which is essentially floor coning, double editing through, and then placing 2 walls and a cone underneath to trap the opponent down there. While I'm practicing this, notice how I'm finishing placing the cone at the bottom and then I'm immediately switching to my shotgun. If I was just practicing the building element of this, when it came to do this in game, I wouldn't have that muscle memory down to switch to my shotgun as quickly. This would then give me a little bit more of a delay before taking that final shot. This obviously helps you for any shotgun that you're using, but most importantly, the charge, as it already has that delay. This is particularly important for controller players because sometimes we have to go to our pickaxe, then to the weapon slot, rather than just going back to the weapon slot, depending on what we're doing. In particular, if we're trying to pickaxe a wall first. Another element that you should be practicing in creative with this charged shotgun is how you can cancel charging. If you're holding an angle, there's nothing more frustrating than firing one of the 3 valuable shots that you have in the magazine by accident. The easiest way to do this is to switch your pickaxe and then switch to your shotgun back again. You just press these 2 buttons almost at the same time, just hitting the pickaxe button first. You can also do this with the previous weapon button as well, which might be a bit easier on controller depending on the binds. On keyboard and mouse, if you had your shotgun bound on 2 and your SMG for example bound on 3, it may be better to do this with your pickaxe rather than your SMG. This is because you have to take 2 fingers off of your movement keys to press these 2 buttons, so it might be a little bit awkward. So basically just do whatever works for your binds to ensure you have good movement and that you can do this really quickly. Hope you guys really enjoyed that video covering the charged shotgun. It's something that I think everyone should try to get really good with and see if you like it, see if it works with your playstyle. I do hope they're going to make some changes to it in the future. However, I'm putting in the time now to try and improve with it, and I think you should too. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you guys later. See you.